Hello, welcome back. Here's a project that's been lying in a drawer for a long time, and it's a Seiko Lord Marble special. So this one is a little bit of a basket case that's been lying in parts forever. I think it was actually bought as a donor movement for a client once. But as you can see, the dial and everything is in really good condition. So I got the hand styles, case, movement, and now I got the new disc here as well. So we can actually put this back together as a watch. So it's going to be a quick little, turnaround video. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but yeah, just to get some content out there, and we can look at this fantastic movement, which is the Seiko 5206A. Very cool movement that came out around 1971, I believe, or 70. This is when I would say Seiko were really making some really nice things. But yeah, I'm going to take this apart in time lapse and probably partly back together in time lapse. I just thought we'd when it's finished, it'd be interesting to have a closer look. It's got a really nice micro regulator. You got the beta regulation here, cap jewels. We'll see if it's on the both sides, but yeah, just an interesting movement. It's really slim and nicely made, good decoration, just worth having a look at, because these do come up as a bit of a bargain, I think, in terms of vintage watches. Anyway, I'm going to go to time lapse, and then we'll see what we do when we put it back together again. So we have a free moving hairspring after fitting the shock protection jewels, which is good. Now I'm going to move the balance. So the first thing I do is always fit the shock protection jewels and see that the balance moves freely, because once you put the gear train in and you fit the pallet and you have some issues, you can quickly rule out the if you have a problem with the balance. Sometimes you'll have hairspring problems, but then it will tend to tick. This movement has a hacking lever. The hacking lever is placed here, and it's a very simple hacking lever mechanism. There's a little spring here that pushes it in towards the stem, and as the stem's pushed in, and you got the tip of the stem will come here, it will touch the tip of the hacking lever, and as you pull the stem out, the tip will of course move backwards, and the spring here will push the hacking lever downwards and engage with the balance wheel. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fit the tiny bit of drop onto the barrel surface and the center tool surface, and a tiny drop of oil in here as well, because this is where I'm going to fit the little, let's have a look, and here it is. That goes in there. I'd like to fit that now so I don't forget it later. And then we have the barrel itself. I've cleaned the original mainspring as that was in good condition. Parts of these don't always just pop up, so I sometimes reuse. And you can see because this actually has the ratchet wheel on the dial side, so this will come in this way around. Before I fit that, I'm actually going to fit the center wheel, which is centrally positioned. It comes through here. I'm going to put a little droplet of oil on that. There. And then we have a little bridge that goes on top. So the bridge comes here. Before I fit the bridge, I need to fit the little spring for the hacking lever. So there we have the bridge for the center lever. Now the hacking lever's got a little spring on it, as we discussed earlier. Now I can fit the barrel like so. We have some intermediate outer winder wheels here. Put a droplet of oil on that. We've already lubricated the inside of the post on this. And I'm just going to fit this here. Next we're going to fit the third wheel in here. And we have the fourth wheel here, like so. Now we have the sweep second pinion. And give that a little droplet of oil here. tension spring has a little fork, and that little fork goes underneath like so. That's where we want it. Now I can secure it. There we go. So it goes underneath there. Here comes this. And then we'll have the escape wheel will come in around here. There's a high beat movement, a lot of teeth here. There we go. Now I'm pretty sure we can actually fit the gear train bridge, if I'm not mistaken. I'll put a droplet of oil here and fit the bridge. Everything seems to have aligned quite nicely. Double check that under the microscope. It looks pretty good. And with that we can secure the bridge. There we go. So now we can't wind this movement currently because the ratchet wheel will be on the other side. So we're going to turn this movement around, secure the ratchet wheel, and then we're going to fit the winding and setting mechanism, and we'll go from there. I do find on some of these Seiko movements the gear train is less of a challenge. The bigger challenge is to figure out how the date and winding setting mechanism works, because these tend to be a little bit more complicated than certain other watches. So don't get me wrong, they're lovely made, but sometimes make sure you get everything, all the springs in the right way, and try and get them all to line up and work properly. It's not as easier said than done at times. And these movements are, yeah, there are plenty of components, well made. That's the winding pinion and the sliding pinion. So we can get that to engage. Let's have a look on the microscope. Now, the rule of thumb when putting a components together is usually you put a little bit of grease on the sliding components. In this case, we have the setting lever comes in other way around, obviously, I believe. Let's have a look. Let's get better access to that. This is a movement, I think I've done it once before, so I'm not very, I don't know this very well. There we go, there's the setting lever in place. And we have this lovely yoke with an inbuilt yoke spring. Engage with the sliding pinion. Come on, there we go. That's very nice. And to hold just to keep things in place, we can now secure the setting lever with a setting lever spring. some grease on that. We have a securing screw. Good, that secures that lever at least. Some extra grease on there. Good stuff. That all works, good. Now we can put a little bit of oil on where the clutch pinion goes. Push that straight down so it engages. So cannon pinion, clutch pinion, whatever you like to call it, goes there. How to continue? Well, I think we're going to got to the date a little bit later. Let's put the ratchet wheel in. Ratchet wheel. See the shape of the ratchet wheel? That's what makes it stop. Looks round, but it's oval, or it has a flat surface on each side here and here. So, yep, to secure that with a big left-hand screw. See the gear train moving freely. Well, that's a good sign. That always makes me happy. And just have a few bits in between. So I've got this little intermediate winding wheel, this little spring behind it. Let's just try and put this together piece by piece and see where we get. As mentioned before, this is not a movement I've done often, so it's a little bit of having a look at a couple of pictures of taking it apart and then moving forward. Here's another intermediate winding wheel here. So I suspect that we have this overlying wheel somewhere. Let's have a look. Yep, here we go. It's going to come in here. It's going to go in between. It's going to go here in a little bit. Be the connecting wheel on the underside here. Give that a droplet of oil as well. Okay, moving along. There's a quick set wheel for the date, and that's attached to a lever. A little bit of grease where that slides back and forth. It's here. Like so. I do believe that is, let's have a look, goes there. Next there is we have the little tension spring for the date. It comes in here, I believe. incredibly nicely made. A little bit fiddly to work on, but look at that. Look how nicely that springs. This one machine spring like that, and it goes back for there. I'll put a little bit of blue grease on here to allow it to slide, but that is just really nice. This is definitely a proper engineer's watch, I would say. I think that's pretty much for the winding and setting mechanism. We've got to put this on now. Oh yeah, we've got to put the intermediate minute and hour wheel on here, like so. And this little bridge helps hold it down and also connects to the, should connect. There we go, that's okay. We'll put that back on in a sec. And I do believe it's secured now or later. Let me check the photos. I believe that is secured later, so we'll secure that later. It's very nicely made, but it's also a little bit fiddly to work on. There we go. I think we are moving in the right direction. Now for the what I expect to be a very snappy date mechanism. First, we're going to start building the wheels back up again. A quick think how that will come together. Date wheel, well, it seems to be the same on both sides. The driving wheel comes in here. We'll have the intermediate date driving wheel here, and then comes the slightly tricky bit, I suspect. It's a cam. Okay. So we have this cam here, and it's going to engage this lever. It comes in. Are we doing this right? That needs to come in underneath this wheel. All right. Let's see. Supposed to do a quick video, but this is getting a little laborious, isn't it? Sorry, so my apologies for that. Okay, I do believe this. There we go. That cam goes down here, and we will have so with a little help of the Seiko Bible from around 1970, I figured out that the cam finger comes underneath the day finger, and the date cam has the date finger in between, and that's the one part I couldn't quite figure out because I didn't get it on my photos. That's why we have this lovely diagram. It tells us where to oil, how to oil, and how it should be, just like the factory specified back in the day. Anyway, just thought I'd quickly show you this, and let's get back to it. So now with the lovely smell of old paper next to me and the diagrams, we're going to put a little bit of blue grease on here. We're going to put a little bit of blue grease on here as well, because this is all going to slide, hopefully nicely. And whoever was sitting drawing this up thinking, this will work, bloody genius. If you're still alive, I commend you. This is Very clever stuff. Some people comment and say, oh, you're clever, you can service a watch like this. Can you imagine trying to make something like this? I'm basically a monkey following charts. The brains behind this is tremendous. So we have this rather powerful spring here, which hopefully doesn't ping everything away. Let's give that a little bit of grease where it touches as well. Oh, there's a bit of power in that. Wouldn't want that pinging off. In place. Well, that is where it is. We're going to secure it with a little bridge. And I did line up all my little screws because there's plenty of them. Fortunately, they all seem to be the same size on this movement. I have to go a little bit back on this one. I've done a couple of mistakes, not big ones, but prohibitive ones. Let's secure this bridge first, and I'll just get my optivisor on. There we go. Just doing two things at the same time, trying to explain and talk. And this not always works. Well, this has to come up again. Not far, just out of this, out of the way. This has to come up again, and then we have to fit the hour wheel. Like so. Now this can come back. This is because this sits over the hour wheel. Oh, that's what I mean with fiddly. Let's try that again. There you go. See that? It's impossible to get that on afterwards. The same goes for this. This lies over it. Could have secured this earlier, but next time. Right, turn this so it engages. There we go, and that's in place. Let's put this lever back in. That's in place. We can secure this now. Could have done that earlier, but I decided I wanted to refit it a couple of times for fun. No, I just didn't realise, but yep. Easy to fit this now. Secure that in place. Moo. Is that the cow? Well, last week we had brilliant weather outside. It's gone back to the usual grey clouds, so it's just kind of dominated the spring and most of summer. But you know what? It makes for good working weather. And it's good weather. I just wanted to get the kids and go to the beach as they're off on holidays. But with cloudy grey weather like now, it kind of helps motivate me to actually do some work. My backlog at work is built up a little bit, not because I've been a lot away from work, but just for some reason it's gotten a bit busy. Around Christmas last year I was almost unemployed, that's why I could do a lot of my own watches. Well, we can set the time, it's good. We can do the quick set, good. And we can wind the movement. Oh, got something. Oh yeah, that's not secured properly, so maybe if I secure this I won't have any problems, but basically everything works. That's good. Next, oh, there's a fun one next, and that is the date wheel. So the date wheel I don't take through the cleaning machine, obviously. It's good to check the teeth. They're fairly sharp still, they look alright. And you clean that manually with a bit of Rodico, if there's any dirt on them, as there usually is. And let's put that in. We've got to tension this spring. I'm going to have a look in the manual. It does not say to oil the date teeth themselves or the spring, so we're going to leave that. Now we can secure the plate. Let's see how that comes down. There. That's where it's going to be. Sure. There's plenty of dirt in the jewel hole. Sorry about being out of focus. There we go. Let's see. All right. Second part of the bridge here. This comes in like this. And there's a golden screw, which is shorter and fatter, that comes in here. I'm sure that's to prevent it from hitting something in the back. Have a look later, but that is quite clever, so that you don't mix up with all the other screws. You've changed the color of it. Very nice indeed. I like when they do that. I've had other movements with it, just a tiny bit shorter. Thread's the same, and you end up wondering why your watch isn't working, and that's because one screw is sticking out the other side of your base plate, blocking the movement. So I won't do it this time. So now let's see if we can wind the thing. Yes, we can without any problems. Fantastic. See if we can quick set the thing. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Quick set the date the other way, and date. Very nice. And we can set the time. I can't believe it. Let's go forward and see if actually we can do it in real time. Let's keep that gear train going and see if we have a date. Oh, that was snappy as heck. Wow, really nice. Is this movement on par with a contemporary Amiga? So finishing wise, it's looking pretty good. It's not, it's not bad. I would say it's no fancy decorations or anything, but you don't really get a lot of decorations on the 1010 neither from the same time period. And it's fairly nice finishing on it. We'll see. We'll see on the performance how this does. It's a fairly good condition, so I reckon it should perform pretty well. Now let's fit the auto winder gears. So auto winder gears. So we will squeeze this one in. We can take this in from the top, which is very nice. They've made it big enough to squeeze in from the top. Very good, Seiko. It's almost like they thought somebody would, forget that while putting it together. I did look at that when I took it apart, so I knew that would work. We have the reverser wheel. intermediate power wheel from the oscillating weight. So if you look at the underside of the oscillating weight, you see how that works. You have a little gear which you have a ball bearing that spins around. So when this spins around, this is static, but the bearing is going around, and this gear is engaging with this, and then the reverser wheel, which allows you to manually wind the watch, and then that also winds the movement. Very nice stuff. And there's a little bridge that goes on top of here, nicely jeweled. At least one pivot is jeweled. Both on there. We're going to give that a little droplet of oil in a bit under the microscope. Here we got the one screw. Secure that. Seem to be missing the other screws. We're going to have a look at my other. Oh, there it is. It's just quite teeny weeny. That was hiding. Sorry for my funny choice of language. That is a response of being stuck in the workshop all day. Just an idea. I'm not too far away from Bournemouth, and I would really like to start getting together once a month in a pub somewhere where people with watches and interested in that could get together, and we could have a general watch chat, maybe a little presentation or something. People could do presentations. There's similar things in London, but that's always pretty much a big operation for me to go to London from where I am. So if somebody wanted to be a part of organising that down here south of England, meet South Bournemouth, Southampton, give me a shout out. We could figure something out. That'd be good fun. Anyway, back. We are securing the pallet fork, which luckily just went straight in. We have one screw remaining in the box, except for the balance, which is put to the side. And that is for the pallet fork. I can already see that's not going to break. That's in its pivot holes. Oops, sometimes these are slippery. See, no scratch. I had a comment saying you're butchering the movement. No, it's called being a human, and there's no scratch. So if you think I just butchered the movement, then think again. Actually, even better, you take one apart, do the full service, high definition photos of everything, zoom into everything you do, absolutely perfect. You see any scratch from that? No, there's not. So yeah, sometimes we do make scratches, sometimes we do butcher things, but that's just a part of being human, I'm afraid. Anyway, good thing now is we can wind the movement. Do that manually, and I'm going to oil the pallet forks, do that under the microscope, we're going to fit the balance and see how she does on the time graph. So time for the moment of truth. Will this watch run again after me working on it? I think it will. Pretty confident. Look at this, I'm very confident. Putting the balance in wrongly. Try that again. Still very, very confident. I'm certain 99.9% sure this is going to run superbly. It's an experiment. Always when I'm confident, things go wrong. So super confident. This is going to start ticking and be great. Almost. Did the impulse pun fall out? There we go. Come on. Don't fail me now. There we go. Come on. Tick, 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 tick. Secure that in place. Good camera. I'm going to put this on an angle. Let's not screw it in. Screw it in and not screw. Yeah. Careful now. Careful. There we go. You don't want to slip. Screwdriver can be slightly bigger, but no marks. No marks, everyone. I didn't bugger up the movement. It's ticking. Fantastic. Let's put this on the time graph and see what it does. Performance-wise, we have a fairly straight line, plus 5-6 seconds a day, dial down. Let's do crown down. Very nice and steady, not much variation on the timekeeping. Very good. Let's turn around to dial up position. Ah, look at that. Let that settle a little bit, see where it goes. Plus, it's going to go +7, yep. Very good positional variation, about 230 amplitude is all right for this movement. Do crown north position, crown up position. +6x, amazing. It's going to be a chronometer-like performance. Very happy about that. Now let's get it in the case. Rightio, I'm happy with the performance. Now I'm going to fit the date disc, which you simply put on top of here. Allow the tension spring to go in between the teeth, like so, and it has to engage with the quick set teeth as well. Like so, and it's quite simple. You have this little C clip that goes on top. You can see that it's, see if we can focus on this. All this in the background. See that it's a little beveled on the end there. So the flat part faces you on the top like this. You don't want to do the mistake of going the other way around, because then your date disc will eventually ride up and cause problems. Done that before. Just press it down like that, and that's secured. Now we can test our quick sets. Oh, that's setting the time. Quick sets middle position. There we go. So that's winding the movement. Let's try that again. So setting time, winding. Maybe I'm close to date change. Let's make sure I'm not that. Go forward to date change. There we go, very snappy, both of them. Continue a few hours. And let's go in the middle position and see what happens. There we go, date change. And quick set, very nice. Happy with that. Now I'm going to fit the dial. We have this dial ring that comes in between here. And then we have the dial that goes on top. I'm going to time lapse the rest, putting the case movement back into the case, because yeah, this video was supposed to be short and now it's gotten long, so let's do that. It's all right. Good stuff. Nice. Now we got the movement in the case again. Double check there's no fibers that have gotten on here since I put the hands on. Very good. I've fitted a new gasket on the crown, so that's fine. I've not seen these with the Seiko logo on them. All the crowns I've seen with this has been plain. Here's for another one. So I believe that is the correct crown for this. Next we can fit the oscillating weight. like to use my tweezers to tighten this. It's the brass and preferably won't leave any tightening marks. There we go. And that is how it works. See the reversal wheels working in there. We can manually wind. And I got the auto wind. See, that works. I'm very happy with that. I'm just going to fit a gasket and find a nice strap for it. Put the case back on, of course. Ta-da! I got this bracelet on, which is an original bracelet for this watch. You can see it's Seiko there, and yeah, put it on the watch. The movement's back in the case, as you can see. If we put the hands on, etc. Let's today it is. Oh, put it out, then in, like so. Then we could. Okay, make sure we're close, far away from the date change. Yep, like so. You don't want to ruin your quick set. Tuesday today, the 6th. Oops. Actually wind the watch when you quick set the date, but that's okay. There, Monday the 6th, and yeah, what a nice watch. Really cool movement, really accurate, well made, lots of nice features. Should do a movement review on this one, put up the points. As you can see, the case had been polished just because it was pretty knackered. Got some brushed finished up against this, which looks all right. And the original crystals had a polish. There's one tiny little defect in the crystal about here, so I could do with a new crystal, but it's all original, which is nice as well. New case back gasket and crown gasket, so I should have some water resistance as well. I've not tested it, might do that later. But for now, I'm just going to put it on my arm and yeah, test it a bit in the field. Look at that, what a great looking watch out in the sun. Very nice and sparkly. You can pick up the starburst in the dial. Direct sunlight here, but beautiful watch. Hard to believe that this is from 1972, making it 52 years old now. Pretty impressive. Looks really good on this strap as well, the bracelet, which it actually did come with, so probably been on there since new. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, have a good one.